Hey Fanshawe, we want to let you know that the video that you're about to watch does include conversations of gender-based violence. We want to encourage you to take care of yourselves in the best way that you know how. If you do require any further support after watching the video, you can contact the Counseling and Accessibility Services office, and the information is located at the end of this video and in the caption. Please look after yourselves. Hi everyone, welcome to FSU Asks. Today I am interviewing Harley, who is our service dog here at Fanshawe that works in the Counseling Accessibility Services office, and Lindsay McGuire, who is his main handler and one of our personal counselors here at Fanshawe. Thank you so much, Harley, for joining us today. We're so excited to have you.
I'll do anything for a treat.
So Harley, can you tell us, are you originally from London or did you move to London just to work for Fanshawe?
I was born in Cambridge, but London is my home.
Harley, can you tell us where you went to college or university before coming to Fanshawe?
I trained at National Service Dogs to follow my passion of becoming a facility dog.
And how do you maintain your work-life balance and take care of your self-care?
I love to play with my toys and take lots of naps.
And Harley, we have heard that you have many siblings. Can you tell us about your family a little bit?
I was born alongside 6 siblings, and I am lucky to be part of 3 other wonderful families.
And lastly, we ask all of our guests to tell us what their absolute favorite food is. Can you tell students what your favorite food is?
I love apples.
So hi, Lindsay. Thanks so much for joining us and bringing Harley today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Of course. Can you tell us a little bit about how Harley even came to working at Fanshawe in the counseling office?
Yes, it was a long journey. We applied for a facility dog with National Service Dogs back in 2017. So we were approved, and then there is a bit of a wait, just as they train dogs and the process of making good matches and seeing who's a right fit for your agency. So Hartley was placed with us. It took 4 years in 2021. So he's been with us for about 2.5 years now.
Awesome. And are there any other colleges or universities in Ontario that have dogs working in their counseling department similar to Hartley?
I don't know for sure, but in terms of National Service Dogs and the facility dog program, I think he is the first dog to be working in a post-secondary counseling office. So
awesome.
I don't know about other programs, but with National Service Dogs, I think he's the only one.
Amazing. And are there other dogs like Hartley that are doing similar work at maybe other organizations in the city?
As far as I know, there's at least 2. One is with the London Family Court Clinic in the Child Witness Program, and another service dog is with the school board, probably with the school social worker.
Okay. And why is Hartley a good fit for working in the counseling department? What kind of services does he provide to students? Because I know a lot of students see him walking through the halls, and they're not sure, can I touch him? Can I pet him? And not a lot of people know what he actually does here.
Yeah. So Hartley works with me primarily when I do my mental health counseling appointments with students. And so usually those are one-on-one appointments, where we would be doing essentially therapy and he would be involved. He also works with our student population who have experienced gender-based violence. And so some of that work is one-on-one, and it's also could be in groups or things like that. So he does lots of different things.
Amazing. And maybe we can talk a little bit about how he supports survivors in the room when they're making a report to police or security.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, Hartley he's a very calm, as you can see, he's just like here. He's a very calm being. And so often when we're meeting with students, he's able to just be there for them, just that gentle touch, that unconditional positive regard. He has a calming effect anytime he's working with students, so I've noticed so far. And so him being there, I think, just eases some of the nerves and maybe some tension, and it can be calming for everyone involved, I think, to have him there, and that physical touch where you can pet him or he can sit and do what we call a visit, where he puts his head on your lap or allows you to just pet him during the session. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, we know that sometimes having to meet with police or security can be really frightening for students, especially when you've experienced something traumatic. Having to retell your story as a survivor can be really difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm sure having him in the room is a bit of a buffer, but also, you're right, probably changes the whole dynamic of everybody in the room.
Yes, definitely. And he's always so happy to meet new people. And so I think that, also adds like a different element to what can be a really stressful thing for students, even in terms of a mental health counseling appointment. It can be really hard to talk to a stranger about experiences in our lives or the challenges we're facing. And so he just, brings that positivity or just something to make you smile and think differently or feel more comfortable going into the appointment.
Yeah. And you talked about his colleagues doing similar work at the courthouse or supporting children. So it sounds like that's kind of a natural fit for these dogs to be a support to anyone who's a survivor of crime.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And I know there's some other agencies outside of the London region who have facility dogs as a part of their treatment programs, and even working with police and first responders. So lots of different opportunities for this type of work for facility dogs.
Great. And maybe we'll just let students know that if you have experienced gender-based violence and you're wanting either counseling with Lindsay or wanting to make a formal report to police or to security, you have the option to contact the Counseling Accessibility Services Department and to be connected with Harley so that he can support you through that entire part of your healing process. Lindsay, what about maybe we talk about some facts about Hartley outside of work, because a lot of people are probably wondering what he does when he's not working in the office.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what his life looks like in his personal time? He's told us a little bit about his work-life balance, but if you could give us a bit more of a snapshot, that would be great.
Yeah, I get asked that a lot, actually. So Hartley, when he's not at work, he lives with my family and I. And so when he leaves the office and we remove his vest, he's just like any other dog. I always say he's a big goofball. He's very silly. His favorite things to do are, run around in the backyard stealing balls from children or adults willing to throw them. And he also, one of his favorite things is eating. And so he loves he'll do pretty much anything for treats. So he's, lots of energy, I would say. He also is, he loves his routine. He likes to go for a walk and he likes to, know where he's going to be. I'm going to have my treats and my snuggles and chase a ball and I'm happy.
Amazing. Yeah, we get a lot of different questions about him from students and just about what his life looks like. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about the length of his kind of employment and what that looks like. How long would he work at Fanshawe? Is there a certain time that he hits like a retirement date, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I do get a lot of questions about that. So National Service Dogs typically expects their working dogs to work until they're between 8 and 10 years old, and then they start planning around 8 for retirement for the dog. That just might mean fewer days in service and kind of working a little bit less or maybe working part-time. So we expect we still have quite a few years left working with Hartley as long as he's up for it. But I mean, that's something we'll be in constant communication with National Service Dogs about his quality of life and his working years, and then he can enjoy his retirement years as well.
Yeah, and eating lots of food and stealing lots of kids' toys.
That's right.
And Lindsay, if students see Hartley and you in the hallway, because we have a lot of students asking, can I touch him or can I approach him? What would be the best practice if students want to come and chat with you, if they see you walking through the halls or at an event or just hanging out in a different area that's maybe not in the counseling office?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I get that question a lot as well. So Hartley is different than a lot of other service dogs in that he is allowed to interact with our student body, and that's his whole job. And so he, usually what I ask is that you just ask the handler first, whether it's me or if he's with one of his other handlers, ask permission first and wait for us to give him the command that it's okay for him to greet you. He loves humans so much that he is often very, very happy to meet new folks. So please don't hesitate to say hi, but do ask permission first so that we can make sure he's behaving and then not just constantly pulling to go greet people while he's supposed to be walking nicely. But he loves to meet new folks.
Awesome. Lindsay, can you tell us a fun fact about Hartley that has nothing to do with his work, but is maybe a little bit personal, because this is all about getting to know our services better, but also getting to know him as a dog?
Sure. Hartley is very funny. If we have someone come to the house, like a guest comes to the house, and actually even in the counseling office, he likes to bring them a gift. And at first I was a little confused by this behavior, but it's, if he has a mitten or a sock or a shoe or a ball, because he loves to play with balls, he will bring it to you. And if you don't accept it or give him attention, he will bring you another one, and he will keep going and finding things to bring you. In the counseling office, he has some toys. And so when he meets a student, he might go pick up one of his toys and bring it over to them, which I just find very adorable that he does that.
He's adorable. That's great. He's like a little Dobby the dog.
Yeah.
Can you, Lindsay, maybe lastly just tell us what your favorite food is? We ask every guest to share what their favorite meal is.
Okay, yeah, good question. Okay, on the spot, I think my favorite food would be sushi.
Okay, a favorite roll?
All different kinds.
All different
All
kinds?
different kinds, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna show everyone a few of Hartley's amazing tricks and skills that he uses. So something about Hartley when we got him is that it wasn't Hartley that needed to be trained. He comes super perfectly trained. It's the humans that work with him that have to be trained in all of his commands. So Lindsay's gonna show us some of the things that Hartley does with students.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, yep. So this one that he was just in it's kind of one of them. It's called a close. And so here we're gonna go, yep, close. And I really love this one because when we work with students, when Hartley is in this position, a student can just reach down and hug him, pet him. I don't know if, there you go. Another one, actually, maybe it would be easier to do on you, the way he's sitting, is to do a visit. Yeah. Do you still have treats?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Hartley, visit. Oh, good boy. Good boy. So this one specifically when someone is maybe doing an interview with police or security, if they're making a formal report around gender-based violence, if the person is sitting and has to be facing talking to someone else, it's nice to have him locked in like this with his head here. Hartley, visit. There. And it just gives you access to having your hands on him and maybe using him for some grounding too.
Okay, we're gonna try one more. I know, that's a very good visit. Okay, come on, you know the drill. Okay, over. Oh, yeah.
Good boy.
Okay, down. Yes, good boy. So another one that we often use in sessions when we're one-on-one with a student, we have a couch in the office. And so if you were my student client sitting on the couch, Hartley will come up next to you, and he often curls up and falls asleep. But he can also, with his head on a student's lap or just sitting next to them, be there for that positive touch and just that calming presence.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. We so appreciate you and Hartley coming today. And we really hope that students, if you see Lindsay and Hartley in the hallway, not to feel afraid to come up and say hi to Lindsay, to get permission to also then say hi to Hartley. And if you're interested in any counseling services with Hartley, or if you're a survivor of gender-based violence and you would like to have Hartley involved in your healing process in the counseling office or reporting process, feel free to contact us at Counseling Accessibility Services.